Nice primer layer on here. And there are different primers for different things. Some of them are mattifying, some of them are color correcting.
Is it just me or is this totally adding like a blur to the skin? Like it looks like it.
This is what?
Like the primer is like adding a little bit of a blur.
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of like an old school like softening filter to make you pretty, or a little bit of instant Photoshop.
Yeah, which primer did you use? Because for the first time,
Yeah,
like, whenever I put makeup on, my face feels
It's like I said,
hot.
it is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser.
Because your skin
Oh.
already looks.
It's like my face doesn't.
Let
I
me
don't
get
feel
that
like
one.
dry or like.
They get that at, you can get that at any drugstore, HEB.
Sydney, can you hit those lights again?
So I'm blending it in. Oops, sorry. I'm also going to do a little bit of glow primer just to make this a little bit softer, prettier, brighter, more feminine makeup. So this is a Smashbox Radiant Primer.
Smashbox.
I also like this one for dark skin because it's got some orange in it. So I'm going to kind of just do this.
Is it just like a colored primer or?
Yeah, it's just got a little something in it. It's got a little shimmer in it. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this on the cheekbones. So it's this one. It's the Photo Finish Radiance. We are radiant. Just going to blend this. So there's just a little bit of glow underneath. So when I'm doing girly makeup, I like it to be a little glowy. So you can even see how that's already starting to pop the cheekbones out a little bit. So again, I have a variety of skin colors, and I'm going to dot a variety of them on. And again, this time I'm going to do even a little bit more color correcting as I'm putting the base on. So I'm starting with the color you actually are. Then we'll add a little something to it to make you the prettiest, happiest version of yourself. Is actually a redder color for that very reason. So I'm especially going to kind of concentrate this under the eyes, in the forehead. All the places we're going to go back and highlight, but we're just going to do a little color correcting first. So, same technique. Just gonna blend, 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 blend everything. Blend.
What about under his other eye?
Did I miss that? I didn't get as much over there. I kind of assume I'm gonna move stuff around, but we can throw a little bit more under there. Let's get all up under there. Like I said, we will deal with the eyes later.
Yeah.
Because greasy eyes.
I don't know. Maybe
Everybody
I just
has
can't see them.
This is why I try to walk back and forth when I'm working. It's so much easier to see what you've done when you're working and looking in a mirror. So when you're demoing, it's always a little bit on the line of, did I make it even? I hope I made it even. Really get in and around all of the curves of the nose and the mouth and around the eyes. So we have a nice base tone on. So just like we did with the masculine makeup, We're gonna go in with some shadows. And I have a nice deep dark color, and it is a cool, it's got again a little purple and a little blue in this. Again, look that way for me. We're gonna imagine that bump in the ear going to the corner of the mouth, but we're gonna stop where the eyebrow would be. So I'm gonna just shadow in along the cheekbone. If you look back in this direction, we're going to do the same thing that we did to determine the jawline. So I'm going to have you drop your jaw just a little bit. So make sure that I'm good and underneath here. Now, because we're doing a feminine jawline, I'm not going to make that corner. I'm going to make a curve that just smoothly goes up behind the ears. So if you look that way, it's just a nice smooth curve. I can even smooth that out just a little bit. And I'll smooth that even more when I start blending. Still working the makeup into the brush. I'm going to do just a little bit around the top. Again, as I said in class on Monday, this is especially important if you're wearing a wig because that shadow kind of helps transition the wig into your hair. You'll see a lot of drag queens really go heavy on that shadow line. So, down the side of the nose. Kind of curving a little bit to the side. Divot. A little bit underneath that bottom lip. A little bit right there. Now, what makes the shadow on the nose for girly makeup a little bit different is that the line actually keeps going. So I'm going to take this line, close your eye for me, and I'm going to continue this into the crease of the eye. Kind of see what I'm doing there? And that's going to actually help you define the eye. And now we blend again. So I'm going to blend the eye first, just because, again, our never-ending battle against the greasy eyelid. You'll notice as I do makeup, I powder eyes a lot. It's like, and we're going to powder again. And again, and again. So this time I'm using, because he's got dark skin, I'm using a very warm toned gold powder. This is my beloved Midnight Topaz. Just to set that. And because I went a little crazy, so that that's all set now. Right, now we're going to blend the rest of the shadows. Same way we did the blending with the masculine makeup. That dotting motion so that we are moving things around without actually wiping them off.
So like when you did the shadow on my cheeks and you did the dotting, did you go down?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't remember feeling anything, but...
Yeah. And again, that kind of goes back to the idea that you want to have, you know, what do we want it to be like? Highlight, skin, shadow. So if you blend that shadow up, you're going to start getting it into where the highlight would go, and what you're ultimately going to make if you do that is mud. So now I'm gonna make a highlight color. I'm starting with this kind of gold because his skin is so dark. I don't wanna do anything that's got a lot of white in it, so I'm actually gonna mix some pure yellow in. I can actually get the brush to pick it up, there we go. So it's this really beautiful gold color, tawny gold. So just like with the male makeup, every shadow has a corresponding highlight. So with the female highlight, I actually do take it all the way back into the hairline. Jaw. Center of the forehead. Down the center of the nose. And also for women's makeup, I like to do around the edges of the mouth. I have intentionally gone just a hair lighter with this highlight than I normally would because I know that I'm going to put the topaz powder on it, which is going to darken it ever so slightly down.
So crazy how like feminine the face shape has gotten. It's like
I'm kind of excited that he's volunteered to let me do this today so that you can see how you can feminize somebody without actually going into full drag. I mean, full drag is great in and of itself, but just by changing your shapes and controlling, you can really reshape almost anything.
Okay.
So, this is again our basic highlight and shadow. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a little bit of cream blush. When I'm working on darker skin, again, I really don't like that ashy effect, so I try to avoid anything that's too pink or peach, and a lot of times I will actually go straight into pure red. So the blush goes between the highlight and the shadow, and again, because we're doing a feminine makeup, it can go all the way back to the hairline and sweep back. Yes, it looks crazy. This red blush is working and how it pops out color and gives it that healthy glow without either A, going ashy, or B, going clowny.
Girl, you look so good.
I haven't even done eyes yet. So again, I'm going in with my topaz powder. It's going to be a lot at first. This is a little more similar to what, you know, the Instagram girls refer to as baking. want to do the bake thing, I'm going to get you to look up for me, and I'm really going to just concentrate it. I've already kind of done a good bake on the forehead, so I'm going to really get it under the eyes.
Get baked.
Like I said, baking is really good if A, you are putting on 10,000 pounds of makeup, which is what most of them are doing, or B, you have really oily skin, or you know you're a sweater on stage. Color.
Concrete.
Good old matte concrete. I may decide I want to go darker with this, but I always start here because I like it. Do you guys know the
We're going.
All right. So we're going to lay that down along the side of your nose. And that's where your eyebrow should start. So I'm going to make a little dot right there. Where your eyebrow should end. You can't see much, sorry. But it's there. You want to lay, still going from the side of your nose, you want to lay the brush down going across the outside corner of your eye. I really need like a third hand for this. Sorry. That is where your eyebrow should end. Now, where the arch should go, you're going to look straight ahead in the mirror, and you're going to lay the brush, actually if you do this with your eyes open, sorry, so that it goes across the outside of your iris. So, starting from the side of the nose, your eyebrow already naturally arches in the perfect place. So I've got dot, dot, dot. And to make the perfect eyebrow shape, you just connect the dots. Usually this color for a natural makeup works, even as dark as his skin is versus the color of your skin. Totally workable eyebrow.
Oh, I have eyebrows.
Again, for glamour, I do you darker, but this is a little more basic than that, so.
It's crazy how this is just like the basic, like you're gonna be on stage, this is what you need to put on makeup.
But don't you want to look the best you could?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh.
I know the trend now is getting to gritty realism, but it's like you need to be able to bring it. I know, who needs gritty realism? I can suffer beautifully as well as I can suffer.
This is as gritty as I want to get.
I might as well, exactly. I might as well look beautiful while I suffer.
Suffer, exactly. So we've got some eyebrow. Now, to really pop out the eyebrow, we're going to go back in with some highlight. Our good old highlight color. Our beautiful tawny color we made. And I'm going to go right up here.
Do you feel beautiful?
Honestly, yes.
Yeah. Honestly, you are. Wow.
We all deserve to be the contoured, smoothed out,
Yeah.
poreless, beautiful version of ourselves. So again, right up on where that eyebrow stops.
Time it to hell. And
Grocery store.
So again, I'm pulling the makeup off the brush, and now I'm going to use the brush to blend that highlight down. This is also a good time, though, to point out how that no color powder that I used on the first makeup doesn't take the color down as much as powder that's actually got a color or a pigment in it. So I know I'm going to go back and kick it back up with powder. And again, I'm going to put a little bit of this nice color on the eyelid. So I'm just keeping this highlight color on the lid. Because what this is doing is it is breaking the eye down into 3 parts. We've got a little bit of lid, we've got a little bit of crease, we've got a little bit of eyebrow, so that we're making it easier for the audience to see everything. All right, so now I'm going to brush off the bacon.
The bacon.
Baking, not bacon. So now I'm going to go in with a darker color. This might not be dark enough. I need to grab something else, but no, that's actually pretty good. Just get a little light off of it. That's not how I picked it up from the brush. It's like, where did that come from? So I'm just going to darken in my contour spots. Now we'll kick that blush up. This blush is ever so slightly terrifying looking in the palette. Don't be afraid. I'm taking this all the way up into that. Maybe for my highlight, I actually even want to throw a little shimmer on here. Because shimmer is our favorite word. So because he's got dark skin, I'm going to use this gold tone shimmer. And I'm going to just do this on the cheekbone. This is a smaller brush that I really like to do this with, but I didn't bring quite enough brushes today, shockingly enough. And this is where we start getting into that what we were talking about before, where texture can also make something start to pop out from the face. And I'm going to use that same color. Would you close your eyes for me? I'm going to do the inner corner of the eye. I'm going to bring it onto the lid a little bit. And a little bit under that brow bone. So we're getting a little more life to the eye. I baked you actually a little bit too well. Gotta blend you a little bit better there. Now another color that I had you guys get was this kind of purpley color. I'm going to use this for my eyeshadow contour. So I'm going to go back over where I had already done the contour with the eye. I'm just going to blend that, giving it a little bit more definition. I like this color a lot because it's warm without being orange. So it brings some warmth to the eye. If you're having struggles with what colors to use on stage and you're choosing between a warm and a cool, generally you're going to probably choose the warm because it'll make you look more alive. So now we've got some eye makeup going on, but it's not so obnoxious that we're like, wow, drag. So, now we're gonna get some eyeliner in there. Just a little bit of this black on the top. And again, this is another product that you wet. And I kind of twirl my brush as I'm doing this because what that does is it kind of accentuates the point of the brush so I can get a nice pointy shape. So I'm not going to do too much winging right here, but when I do a little bit of wing, you're going to look straight ahead. And I'm going to put just the tiniest wing pointing towards the outside edge of the eyebrow. I like to do this with the eye open. We'll do big wings and cut creases when we get to glam. That'll be the next demo. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes for me. And now we're just going to fill this in. Concrete color for underneath. So like a dark brown, gray brown underneath. We won't do black underneath until we get to glam. All right, look up for me. And it's that same shape where we're following the eye until we get to where it starts to curve up, and then we just keep it more or less straight. So about to here, and then I just keep going in a straight line. Come back in with a little bit of a lighter base color. I might just accentuate this. This is also a really good way to fix the wing if you screw it up. So we've really got that nice open eye at the outside corner. At this point, for a natural look, I would also do mascara. Again, no lashes until we get to glam. It's another one of the differences.
Did you make us buy lashes, or do we need
No.
to get those?
If
Because
you
we
want.
have glue.
Yeah, you have glue. Well, the glue is also used for other things.
Oh.
We get to use glue and gore a little bit too. So these are my little lipstick palettes. These are all lipsticks I've just purchased, and then I bought these little cases. I almost never use a lip color, just kind of as it is. I really like NYX lip colors. They're cheap and they're creamy. And creamy is really good for stage. So, kind of a brownie pinky red. I might even bring in a little bit of that red that I was using for that cream blush color. Whenever you're doing kind of a natural makeup on stage, you want to avoid anything on your lips that's too shimmery, too glossy, too purple, or too brown. Because all of those things look really bad under lights. There are two good tricks.
Let's do like a
Pull a Regina George, just cut out the.
Like I said, if you're in the CVS, go with the inner lip.
That's no fun.
I feel like they're not.
I feel like they're not either. They're completely two different colors.
Mine's so cute.
That was just
Well,
so
I,
funny.
but I feel like they both work.
Exactly. I was gonna say.
They both work. One's a lighter shade. Well, I mean,
It's their guidelines. And again, for a natural makeup, I don't like to do a lot of lip liner. I sort of let the highlight around the lip keep everything sort of shaped. I'll do some lip liner when I get to glam.
Oh my god, he's so pretty.
So we've got, again, just a natural lip color. It's kind of a little bit reddish, so it's got some pull to it, and it kind of picks everything up on stage. So this is a nice,
Done throw a wig on her.
small theater ingenue kind of moment. Anybody have any questions? Everything makes sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Come
I
look in the
do.
light.